Do you know this frustrating feeling when you know you have important tasks on your list, looking at them, and still can't get yourself to actually work on them? This doesn't have to be the case, because you don't need motivation to work hard every day. In this video, I will explain to you how to build systems, stop procrastinating, and change your mindset so that you can be incredibly productive and work without being dependent on motivation. Let me be honest to you, most likely you won't be able to do all your work and habits every day with only sheer willpower. It's natural that we can't stick to doing specific things if we don't have a strict plan. This is why establishing a daily routine is so crucial. It helps you to get accustomed to executing habits. They become easier for you every single day if you actually follow your daily routine. The two most crucial things you need to know when establishing a daily routine is that first, it doesn't form overnight. It is a process where you slowly get used to doing new things and they become a routine for you. Secondly, you shouldn't overplan your daily routine because there are always going to be a few things that you simply can't control, that you are not going to be able to perform every task at its exact time. So leave some space to stay flexible in your routine. Understand this, the number one trait that separates successful people and unsuccessful people is consistency. As long as you don't give up on working on your goals every day and adjusting minor mistakes, you will be successful in the long term. Thinking long term is crucial for stopping procrastination. I will explain that later to you in the video. Another thing you maybe should ask yourself is, why are you demotivated to work hard every day in the first place? I can tell you why. It simply is that you are exposed to high dopamine activities too much. Therefore, other things in your life that don't flood you with dopamine feel gray and dull to you. Reduce the amount of media you consume and purposely take breaks without your phone. And I know you guys also don't watch videos on the toilet. So the first actionable step for you is to think of how your ideal day looks. It doesn't need to be hyper-detailed that you plan every 10 minutes. Just think of a broad plan for now. To finally stop procrastinating, you need a strong reason on why you shouldn't. You see, you have to make your brain understand why doing a certain activity is tremendously important for you. Because otherwise your brain will always prefer the activity with more dopamine, like scrolling on your phone or watching a series over the low dopamine activity that actually matters for your future. But as long as you don't vividly and clearly realize this and incorporate it, it will be hard for you to not procrastinate. Find your why, find out why you do what you do, and whenever you even have the thought of procrastinating, remember why you have to do that activity. Overcoming procrastination is just like going to the gym. At the beginning, it feels hard and challenging, but the more progress you see, the easier it becomes. Don't start layering in other sources of dopamine in order to get to the starting line. You should subjectively start to attach the feeling of friction and effort to an internally generated reward system. Simply explained, this means that you should stop seeking immediate pleasure to start working on tasks or goals, but rather just enjoy the process of overcoming the friction. By making your motivation independent of external sources, your motivation becomes more sustainable and self-driven. You will be able to do the things you have to do, regardless of how you feel in that exact moment. It doesn't play a significant role anymore if you have the big goal in mind. Like all things in life, at the beginning, you may struggle with finding joy in the process of overcoming demotivation and friction. But the more you expose yourself to it and the more you overcome it, the more trained your mind will become and the more independent you become from motivation. Think of working on goals and tasks as if you are planting seeds in a garden. Initially, it will look like not much progress is made at all, and you will get no immediate results. But after consistent effort and discipline, those seeds that were so unmeaningful suddenly became something valuable and fruitful, and all your effort pays off. Patience is key. The second actionable step is to find your why and to start working on tasks without layering other sources of dopamine. You have to rethink the way you perceive motivation. Motivation is not a necessity to work hard. It is something that comes and goes and is not permanent. Think of it just as a feeling of actually wanting to do the hard thing. And for most people, the problem is that if this feeling is gone, their actions towards their goals are also gone. The optimal state of mind would be doing the same actions every day without being dependent on how you feel. So this would mean You even train if you don't want to train, you work even if you don't want to work. I'm sure you are familiar with this kind of mindset. It's Stoicism in its finest form. The core message behind Stoicism is that you become independent of your feelings. You're becoming more logical and rational instead of emotional. You're working on self-control and accepting what you can't change. Also, realize this key lesson. When you feel friction and laziness when wanting to work on something, the second you overcome that first small obstacle of actually starting, the rest becomes easy. Additionally, you should see discomfort and friction as a sign of extreme growth. This will change your perception of discomfort as something rather negative to something positive. And it's true. In life, most of the growth stems from friction and doing things that you don't want to do, because they make today harder, but tomorrow easier. If you're not thinking long-term, of course, you will prefer doing the easy things that make today easier, but tomorrow harder. Nowadays, too many people are living from pleasure to pleasure without having a clear direction in life, and that's why so many people are lost. So don't be one of them. If you liked the video, don't forget to give a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button so you won't miss any future content. Until next time, take care.